So it says that I'm live. I don't know that I'm live yet. Oh my goodness, we got people in the chat, baby. It should be started already. I'm trying to see, check some information here. We live? Excellent, David. Thank you so much because I honestly had no clue. It says I've got a bad stream, like a bad, and not bad in a good way. It says that the variable resolution stream is blah, blah, blah and stuff. Not sure what's going on there. We just do it as we can. It's all we can do. Hey, but we're gonna get started here in about 5 minutes tonight.
Started already.
Hold on real quick.
I'm trying to see.
There we go. That should be better. And so tonight the plan is to talk about conversation. How do you talk to people now? Because like all of the rules have changed. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. If I were like, I don't know, 20, 21 years old, and I time traveled to now, I think people would arrest me. It would be awful. They would call the police because I don't know how to I would not know how to communicate at 21 or 22 years old because it's a jungle out there. So we're going to talk about that tonight and get some feedback from you guys. And here's the plan that I want to before we kick it off. The plan that I'm wanting to do here is this. Is you guys, myself, all of us kind of come up with conversation starters that you would start, and it doesn't have to be like with the opposite sex, of course. It's just how you talk to somebody. Let's say you're in one of those situations where you have to say something, you have to strike up a conversation. What do you talk about? Because I've given this a lot of thought, and it's a lot more difficult than you think. Mark says, seems to me there's something going on within the DC Beltway. Can't remember. Oh yeah, there's that. There's that thing of which we will not speak. You can't talk about anything relevant. Elijah, I gotta hide that. I mean, it's real, but you know what I'm saying. It's good to see you though. I'm glad you're on here. I'm glad to talk to you though. Yeah, there's something definitely going on tonight. And I thought about doing a live stream where we watch the president together, and then I couldn't think of anything more. Everybody does that. Everybody does that. I thought, I can catch it on a YouTube channel later. He's gonna have his spiel. They're gonna have their spiel. Blah blah blah. And you know what? Tomorrow I've got a busy day. And what he has to say for me tomorrow, or the response, will not affect me tomorrow. I mean, it's not that I'm being like not political. It's just I don't think it's something that I have to freak out over every time. But I'm sure that they'll work it out. That's what I always say. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun if we can get some stuff going. Now, what I'm going to do, be sure you share this stuff, guys, so we get this chat going. I'm going to go ahead and capture this just so I can get some shares out there. And be sure to share it on Facebook, Twitter. Smoke signals work. You like the old days. You'd send. I don't know. That joke's probably not PC now for some reason. All right, give me one more or a couple more moments here. Let's talk about how to talk. Modern conversations. Thank you for your patience, guys. I appreciate it. The last live stream the numbers were really well on that, really good. Let's talk about modern conversation. How do strangers talk these days? Join us live stream. That's what I'll say. Join us on the live stream. Live street. I appreciate you guys being here, though, man. I can't say how grateful I am. I'm very, very, very serious. Very. All right, I got one down, three pages to go. Shouldn't take much longer, though. I do appreciate it. If somebody's on Twitter and, like, we follow each other on Twitter or something, you can buzz me on Twitter. That's at Bill Marion. No. Twitter's at Bill and Carolyn. Carolyn spelled Caroline. Yeah. And I don't know how to get out of that chat, Carolyn. So okay. Well, we're live, so praise God. That's good. Sorry for the delay, guys. It's just taking me a little longer tonight. Well, it's just now 9 o'clock, so it's good. We're not doing too bad at all. Thank you for staying with me here. It's like everything on my computer when I'm live streaming, and I got a great computer, but it you can just tell it's having to crunch so much information. There we go, and that should take care of it. Takes care of it as much as I can at the time. David said he's so mature. And Mark says, conversation started. Hey, y'all hit the thumbs up. Yes, thank you, Bill. Bill, I've not got to see your last video yet. I apologize. I simply haven't had the time to go over there and check it out. We've had, I'm cutting a video now. Just released a video yesterday. Got 3 more videos to cut by the end of the week. So that's good. This isn't the only thing that I cut videos with. So I've been very, very busy with YouTube and other video projects. Mark says 63 in Massachusetts today. Oops, I missed a letter. That's okay. I covered you, Mark. I got you. Mark had this great story. The last video, by the way, if you're just joining us, my name is Bill Marion. This is a Nose for Life live stream, which I have so much fun doing these. These are just awesome. And, you start these live streams to like build your product, build your brand and your channel. And it's like, no, man, I come in here to hang out. It's a blast talking to you guys. Make sure you get the word out, though. Invite people like that you hang out with regular and just, unless you just don't want them to see your crazy self in here. I understand that, too, and there's no harm there either. But I want to welcome you here. Again, tonight is navigating the modern conversation. That's what we're going to talk about. I released a video at 6 o'clock. You need to check out sometime tonight or tomorrow and share it with everybody in the universe. It's about the Blue Ridge Parkway No, that's the one I'm cutting now. I apologize. It's oh Lord, what was the last one about? Natural Bridge. Thank you. And the reason why I was going to talk about it is because of Mark. It is hilarious because when we premiered that one, Mark actually came in and said that he had gotten married at the Natural Bridge, and it was like real sentimental and awesome. And I was like, yes, that is so cool. So like, I'm not pronouncing your last. No, I'm not going to do it, man. I'm so busted. I am so busted. It's easy when you get a correction in the comments. Like my Arizona video, I've had 85 billion people correct the fact of where I say the saguaro cacti are. And because I said that they're just in this national forest there, and I didn't mean it that way, but it does sound that way. So it's easy to cover that. You're like, I'm very sorry, you're right, blah, blah, blah. But it's like that one, yeah, Mark, I got nothing, man. Let me try this. Chicagoitz, Shies. My wife just said, don't hurt yourself. Scheiswitz? I can't do it. I've got nothing, man. There's a good live stream right there is Bill pronouncing last names. Scheiswitz? Man. Mark. I'm giving it all. I'm got, Captain. I've got no more. I don't know what that accent was. Just use your imagination. Yeah, so we did the Natural Bridge. Mark S. got married down at the Natural Bridge. That was pretty cool. That would be a great place to have a wedding. Of course, it's funny. You tell people you're going live and they just keep texting you. I don't understand. It's like, that comes across my computer. I can hear and see you. Anywho, polite conversations. How do you start a conversation? So I'm in an elevator. I'm at the hospital doing visits and all that good stuff. Hold on. See, I was in the flow, but Mark's got a Siskovich. Is it sis? Is the I long or short? Siskovich? Siskovich is cool. Siskovich is cool. Either way, man. Tom Brady's the man. Patriots won. What more could you want in the universe? Man, I'm going to tell you something. Patriot fans are diehard. They should be. They have to be the greatest team. They are the greatest team. Greatest quarterback, greatest team that's ever. I can't imagine that there's ever been a dynasty greater than Tom Brady's Patriots. I can't imagine it. It's Siskovich. You related to that Scientology guy? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm playing, man. I'm playing. You know the Tom Cruise hangs around with? Short. So it's Siskovich. Yeah, baby, Siskovich. I'll say it every time now. Boy, if you say it wrong, you know that's going to be demonetization. Bill says, "Hey, Juan Thomas." So again, man, our numbers are low tonight. Our numbers are low. I guess our UFO and what to do when you spot a UFO conversation just crashed and burned. It didn't. We didn't attract more people last week with that stimulus. I had a blast though. I thought it was great. You guys are hysterical. I'll tell you who we're missing right now is Mike and Leah. They're not in here right now, and that's just killing me. I don't see Matt Sieber in there either. And Matt's a regular. We're going to have to get on to Matt. Let's get on the horn to Matt. Yeah, so I'm in the elevator, and this wonderful people that are in there. And I noticed that we were all kind of in a good mood. We were up, you could feel the energy in there. But it's not that nobody wanted to start the conversation. I don't think anybody knows what to talk about anymore. Nobody wants to say anything because what ends up happening is that, let me just throw this out there, okay? So let's say you talk about the weather. So somebody says, wow, we've had a cold winter. Somebody else says, yeah, but look at today, it's 60-something degrees, my goodness. The next thing that somebody's going to think of is global warming. And then suddenly the weather, the safest conversation that you could have for the past 5,000 years. Man, there were people in ancient wherever that when they couldn't settle anything, they would talk about the weather. 2 large battles could be taking place and everybody could kiss and make up talking about the weather. And now you can't talk about the weather because somebody might be, diehard environmentalists. The other person might be a climate denier, whatever they're calling people that don't believe in global climate change these days. And then, bam, Elijah, love you, mean it, man. Gotta go. Sorry, have to leave early. Well, enjoy. So, yeah, so you can't talk about the weather anymore. So what do you do? What do you talk about? Mark says, Bill, I'm thinking a lot are checking DC. Yeah, I'm sure they are. And they're missing me. That's the part, Mark. That's the part that's killing me. I'm hurting for them. This is me. This is what this is. I'll tell you what this is. This is me protesting the man. I'm protesting DC by having this live chat while they're having the State of the Union and the response. I don't know. I was trying to go with it. I couldn't get mad enough. I just couldn't get mad enough. Juan says, no one here because the president is speaking. Yep. Mark says, Sterling, because the president is speaking. Yes, the president is speaking. Mark said something, then he retracted it. I don't have to say your last name every time, though, right? I mean, it's just like one time, Mark. Yeah, at least you guys are using your names, or like initials or something to where at least I know. You get these people with these 18-letter YouTube names. And most of them are like trolls or what, not trolls, but they're just dummy accounts. They probably, just something that they can comment with without it going back to their real name or whatever. That's like, I don't know how to address them in our comment section. Yeah, everybody's watching the State of the Union. But that's okay. I'll tell you something else crazy that happened. Again, in the past couple of weeks, this has hit me over and over again. I was in a gas station out in another, it's this region, but it's about, 100 miles away, give or take. And I strike up this conversation, and it's going really well. But the guy is sure to tell me about his right to uphold the Constitution and stuff in the country. Just read between the lines there. He's telling me all about, how he doesn't have to worry about people breaking in his store because he has the right to blah, blah, blah. And I have that right too. And I exercise that right. But I'm sitting there thinking, is this really what it's come down to, is talking about like our rights, like in casual conversation? Like we can't just talk about how pretty it is outside or, hey, how are you today? I don't know. Mark's killing me. Mark, see, I can't even repeat that. That'd be a definite. It's I don't care as much about the demonetization. It's just hysterical. It's like everything now. The governor here in Virginia, I don't know if you guys are keeping up with that. Boy, this will definitely get it demonetized, which is fine. The governor here in the state of Virginia is in trouble because of something that he did when he was practically still a child. The problem with it, if you know the news, if not, you can just open up another tab and just read Governor of Virginia, the latest, and I'm sure you'll find out whatever you need to find out. It's just sad because I think maybe if he handled it way back when, maybe when he decided to go into politics and knowing that there's a yearbook out there, I'm just saying, might have been a good idea to have talked to people about that beforehand. But then to watch everybody just scream at him afterwards, and then of course he said he did, and then he didn't. Long story, but it's like, how do you have these conversations with people? Because it's going to come up. It comes up all the time, and right now, no matter what you talk about, these type of conversations end up coming up. I'm glad you guys are having a warm, fuzzy time. One of the things I like about this group is that people talk to each other, and that's cool. Again, we're dead as 4 o'clock right now, but that's okay. That's okay. You know what? It's probably dumb of me to try to do this during. It probably would have been better to have come on afterwards. That would have been cool. I should have done that. I don't know. To be honest with you, I had forgotten all about the State of the Union. I got too much to do, too many things to plan for. Big events coming up next week. We won't be having a live stream next Tuesday. Very busy next Tuesday. I won't be able to do it. What countries have you all been to? One, man, way to take the lead. Now I know you were a CIA man. Before we tell Juan the countries we've been to, just know he was a former CIA agent. Yes, he was a former CIA agent. I'm convinced of it, man. Now, let's see. Juan and I were talking about Travis Place visited. Who's been to Japan? Guantanamo Bay. I have not been to Japan or Guantanamo Bay. Neither. I've been to most of the countries I've been to, other than Nicaragua. I've been to Nicaragua. Most of the countries I've been to are all in Europe. So just Europe, Germany, and then just draw a big circle. Dad was stationed there when I was a kid. We traveled while I was there. Been all over the U.S. Yes, I'm telling you, Juan. I've been studying the rhythm of your language when you type, and I'm convinced, man, you're former CIA. St. Lawrence Island. St. Lawrence Island sounds like something off Full Metal Jacket. So I'll tell you another conversation that you can't, if you criticize anything that we're doing geopolitically right now, you have to be very careful. Or if you're at a store and there's a TV set up and there's something on the news and you roll your eyes or sigh or something like that, you have to be very careful because people will bust you out on it. It's really weird. They'll comment. Everybody gets triggered. Everybody gets triggered now. St. Lawrence Island. I've never been to St. Lawrence. What is St. Lawrence? Where is St. Lawrence Island? Bill says all over this country and Canada. Yeah, I've been to Canada. Of course, spent a lot of my youth in Michigan, and spent a lot of my youth in Michigan. And of course, Canada's like over the water. And back in the day, you didn't have to have a passport and all that stuff. You just drove across. Actually, I think you did the tunnel later. We had a good time going to Canada. Says sorry, Bill. Europe stinks. Well, I don't think it stinks. I don't know. Same here, Bill, in Asia and a few others. Like I said, I didn't get to spend a lot of time in Asia. Dad spent a lot of time in Southeast Asia. Decided to go over there for a year to find himself. Of course, I'm being funny. My dad's a Vietnam veteran. Very proud of Dad. The only thing that bothers me when it comes to like disabled vets, my dad's a disabled veteran and 100%, and he has to commute. Like when he goes to the hospital, we live in Harrisonburg, and they keep sending him for all of his tests up to Martinsburg, which is it Martinsburg, Carolyn, or Martinsville? Martinsburg, which is in West Virginia, but it's like 2 hours away, and with traffic, it's like two hours and 20 minutes away. And I'm sitting here thinking, I can take Dad, and they do have a bus that goes up there, but that's hard on people to. I mean, I'm talking like 5 and 6 appointments a month right now. And it is really ridiculous. I mean, it's an absolute pain because, yes, I could take him up here to the local branch, if you will, to the local VA, and he could catch a bus up there, like these little buses that they have. But a 2.5 hour drive there and the 2.5 hour back, or 2 to 2.5 hours, that's a lot on anybody. That's a lot on a 45-year-old man, much less my dad who's 67. It's not fair to him. And I don't know if there's. I mean, they'll compensate you for your gas money and things like that, but it just seems a little. I don't know. It seems like a waste. I don't understand why they're doing that. When were you in Europe, Bill? Oh well, when was I in Europe? I was in Europe back in '70. See, I was 4 and 5, 4 and 5. So what was that? I was born in '74. You guys are trying to get my social, aren't you? Mark, you're a CAA guy. Let's see, 74. No, I was born in '74, so it'd be 77, 78. So that's where the whole windmill thing came from. If you remember, Mark, the windmill is from Holland. And mom and dad, they bought that and the shoes and all that junk. And so now it's hysterical because mom's giving all the stuff to me now, and I grew up with that stuff, and it has a lot of sentimental attachment, but it serves really well as a science fiction tool. It just does. See, here it's back there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Well, Mark, I'm telling you, Mark is in the CIA. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, see, I got that light on. It's right there, somewhere in there. So it's funny because when you meet a European, Disney World or something like that, it's always odd because the conversations are always odd because they're a little more forward. At least my experience. Let me say my experience. They're a little bit more forward about America and American politics, and try to talk about. I remember during the Bush administration meeting some Europeans, and they wanted to weigh in on GW and all that. Just really quick to tell me their mind. I was like, I didn't ask for any. I didn't ask for any of this. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Apply for doing your part. That has to be a typo. I know it. Thank you for doing his part. Bill, thank you. Oh, are you talking? Wait, huh? Mark, I don't understand what you're saying. Can you reword that? Because I'm confused. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. I'm sure it's mine. I'm sorry. Mark's like, message retracted. Same here. My brother-in-law wants me to drive over 4 hours to go to the Mayo Clinic. I go 50 miles to the VA and the non-VA hospital. One, that's just, it seems to make more sense to me that the money that's being poured into that, and I could be wrong. I mean, I've given up on the fact of thinking that just because it's the way that we do things means that it's the best way, or that there are smarter people who think of these things. I've given up on that. That's just not always true. It's true a lot. It's true a lot to where before you start, writing letters to senators and congressmen, you think about it for a while. Oh, I got you. I sure will. And he served 10 years. I will thank Dad for doing his part. He served 10 years and loved it. The only reason why he got out was to go into ministry. He absolutely loved it, had a great career. I'll tell Dad's story. Actually, there's a video on my channel that you can hear a lot about Dad, and it's called, golly, I can't remember the name of that video right now.
I'll look it up.
Carolyn's looking it up for me now. But actually it was one of my first. I tried to do like a feature-length video thing. It's like 30 minutes long about Dad. It's called A Post-Traumatic Generation. That's what it is. A post-traumatic. I'm going to actually put a link down here because it's the video's not banned. It was demonetized and it's restricted because I don't even know if I should repeat what I said in it because I think that's what happened. But I made a statement, actually made a part of his life probably a little more. If you've seen the movie Blow and Johnny Depp, when he's going through the airport where they're kind of glorifying that moment where he's in that mode. It's kind of what I did. And I wasn't trying to glorify what he was doing. I was trying to give the mentality of people who go through the things that Dad was going through at the time. And it's actually one of my favorite videos. I would make it better now. There's no doubt about that. I would make it a lot better now. And I love, the more I make videos, the more I love making videos. But I would love to go back and do that again with Dad. Let me give you just a second here. And what I'm going to do, again, we're not hooked up. By the way, pray for Carolyn. She has been deathly ill. She's not even able to sit here at the table. She's having to actually sit on the couch. She has had the worst, probably cold flu kind of thing that she's had probably in the past 10 years, I'd say. It's one of those that just gives and keeps on giving. But the whole VA thing is concerning me because it doesn't make sense to me that it's like the wearing people down. It just makes more sense to spread that money out to local providers as opposed to holding it up in one center. And maybe I'm wrong, but it just makes more sense that you could negotiate with doctors to accept either a lower amount of money or I don't know. If you guys want to weigh in on that, that'd be great. There's got to be a reason, and I'm sure somebody who's smarter than I am will come back and be able to answer that. Hamels Duck, hey Mark, welcome Hamels Duck. Buster, oh man, I didn't even see it at the bottom there. You're not watching Trump on TV. No, man, Buster, you missed it. I am protesting. This is a protest against the establishment. Not one party, but all the parties. Power to the people. I'm just kidding. Not really doing that. Carolyn Wan says, I hope she gets better soon. It really stinks to be sick.
Yes, it does, and thank you.
She says, yes, it does, and thank you, in case you haven't heard. I'm telling you guys, within the next 6 months, you're going to see your buddy Bill here with the studio. It's happening. It's already happening. It's in the works. It's going to be like, you're going to be like, how did that happen? I knew him when, and it's going to be great. I'm going to have a filter so my head isn't shining. You're loving that, ain't you? It's going to be great. Buster says, me too. I hate them all. Mark says, Buster, we're figuring there will be rebroadcasting of other thing in D.C. Mark, there was somebody during the all of you guys, not just Mark, but all of you guys. There was somebody when I was trying to do the whole the eclipse thing, the lunar eclipse, and it was terrible. It was totally botched. There was a couple of you guys in there, and Mark, I think you were in there with them. But man, the comments were the best part of that video. I mean, of course, because the lunar thing was awful. But I mean, people making comments about the iPhone, it was just hysterical. My Backyard Live, what's up? Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. And if you are tuning in after the State of the Union, welcome. We are boycotting the State of the Union and the response because we are anti-establishment. I kid. What we're talking about or trying to is polite conversation. How do we have polite conversation? How do we have it? How do we meet somebody like, you're at a gas station, you're stuck because the machine's broken, and there's a person beside you in line at the other machine and it's broken too, and you have to talk about something. What is safe today to talk about? What is safe? Oh, thank you, Buster. Buster Tim says, get better, Carolyn.
Thank you.
Please send all checks and money orders to @CarolynMarion. I'm just kidding. So it's good to see everybody in here, man. I'm so thankful that you guys are here. Well, and I was trying to get that link. And again, I want to put this in there. I would love for you guys to watch it and give me some feedback. And if you guys like it, you're supposed to ask people to share it because if you don't ask, people won't. They won't. It's like hit the like button. You have to ask people. And by the way, while you're here, could you hit that like button? I'd really appreciate it. You have to ask because they won't. But if you like the video a lot, or if you think to, I would greatly appreciate it if you would share it because it's not going to get traction through normal means. And I think Dad's got a great story that needs to be told. I think it's an important story because Dad's story represents hundreds of thousands of other young men who went through something. It was crazy because I talk about this in this particular video, is that I was with 4 of my college buddies. There it is. I was with 4 of my college buddies, and we were just sitting around one night, as you do, talking about dads and moms and stuff. And suddenly we realized we all had like the same dad. They had the same weird hang-ups, the same everything. And then it dawned on us, wow, our dads are all Vietnam vets and we're all there and blah, blah, blah. So it was an eye-opening moment for me that I realized that my dad was not normal, and a lot of the things that I experienced as a kid from dad that I thought were normal weren't normal. I'm okay. Don't get me wrong. Dad was a great dad. He was a great daddy. He was a great dad. You couldn't ask for a better father than I had. But man, he had some hangups, some odd. And he was a preacher. He was a great man of God. Preached all over the world and was loved by a lot of people. But dad didn't sleep good at night at all. You had to low crawl to, like, if I had a nightmare, I knew better than to just bust into their door. Because dad would reach, y'all know what I'm saying. I mean, it was pretty intense, and it was like that. It's like that now when I go down to check on dad at night. If I start yelling for dad at the top of the stairs, and he's 67 years old, I make sure that he knows I'm coming, because it, kind of messes him up or whatever. Anyway, I didn't mean to go off on the negative stuff, guys. I apologize. But I'm going to put that in there and share that. I hope, if you guys get a chance, open it up. Juan says, I always hit the like hand, and yes, Vietnam was not good for anyone. No, it's I'm glad I don't have a time machine to go back to that, because I think, well, first of all, I think I would be very angry with anybody that gets mad at the soldiers involved. I mean, like, really? My goodness, we had a draft going on. Really? You're going to get mad at the soldiers? And to warn people to be careful, protesting is fine. It's a part of your right. It's part of your constitutional right. But make sure that you're not protesting the people who are doing their job. Talk to your congressmen and your senators and make it happen that way. That's how you make it happen. There's two sides to that too, as far as the protesting and whatnot. Some of those protests were hijacked, but boy, that's getting into some uncharted territory. Hey, speaking of conspiracies, if you remember, we were talking the other night about YouTube and conspiracies, and remember the flat Earth thing that we did, and that was a blast. We weren't making fun of it, but we were just saying, look, clickbait works, and when you have these outlandish claims, people tend to click, like flat Earth. I don't know if you guys heard this, but they are actually cracking down on flat Earth and on YouTube. Like, they're going to hide it in the algorithm or whatever they do to where it doesn't come up in recommended. And so I thought, should I change the thumbnail? Because, the thumbnail can be misleading, but I don't know. I'm not changing anything. It was hysterical. It was a great conversation. You should go back and watch it. Mark said poop. Buster said, no war is good for anyone. War, good God, what it is. That's a copyright violation. Did not mean to sing that. I'm sorry. Let me do some editorial on it. That song is a very dark song about war, sung back in the 1960s. There you go. It's commentary. You're welcome. Mark, my dad was in the Korean War. Buster, your dad, let's see. So that means I could guess your age by that statement. Korean War, tell your dad thank you. As other people have expressed their sentiments to my dad about his service, I expressed mine to your dad about his service. Very grateful. That war was horrendous. The Korean War, they call it the Forgotten War. That's a shame, because that war was tragic in so many ways, and we're still dealing with the outcome of that war, and we're still dealing with it. It's horrible. One, I did not, I've always pictured you as an elder statesman. The kind of elder statesman that's former CIA, right? You said your dad was also in the Korean War, and I'm thinking, aren't you a little old to have a dad in the Korean War, or is that just your cover, Juan? And Juan, are you expecting us to believe that your name is really Juan? I don't think so. I have ways. I'm just kidding. I don't. Buster Tim says, I lost him this past July. He was a great man. Oh, Buster, I am so sorry, buddy. I am so sorry. That's terrible. That is terrible. Very sorry. Juan, you said, Bill, I'm a day younger than your dad. Well, here's the thing. Okay, man, has the Korean War been is it that long? It is, isn't it? Oh my goodness. That means that we, the great generation, they've almost all left us. Oh, that's so sad. God, this is depressing. Oh my goodness, but it's true. The truth. The lies don't hurt. The truth is what'll hurt you. Juan Thomas says, Mark says, cool, Buster, those gentlemen had a different set of circumstances. Yes, they did. They did have a different set of circumstances. 84. Wow, Buster. He lived a long life. Considering that he had been to the Korean War and fought, my goodness, he lived a blessed life. Michael, it's good to see you. I just asked about you earlier. No songs presented here are owned by the presenter. All credit and rights belong to the artist and writers. I don't think that would help me in a situation where I sung too many of the lyrics. I don't think. I think that's like a Facebook thing. I think the worst case they do is claim the video to make money off of my voice. Mark says, lost my pop in '05. Man, y'all are gonna make me start crying. I'm not ready to lose my dad. I actually had to spend. I didn't have to spend, but it was kind of. I take dad out. I don't know, once a week, once every 2 weeks. It depends on the weather and stuff like that. Dad picked up a habit in his older age of smoking cigars. It was in his older age. He didn't do it when he was younger. But when he got older and he kind of retired from the ministry and everything, he said, I want to smoke cigars. So I have to take dad driving because we can't smoke in where we live. We just can't smoke here at all. So I have to take him out to smoke. And so I sit there and drive while he's in the cold. I just sit there and drive, and he smokes one cigar after another one for a few hours. And I spent about 4 or 5 hours with him today while we went over to West Virginia and kind of drove around there. And he's not feeling as good as he used to at all. And he's got diabetes, and he's got all these other issues, and it's pretty, yeah. So I hate to hear that you guys as fathers are passing away like this, because it's I want to keep my dad around as long as I can. Mike says no money there. Then yeah, none, none at all. Exactly. There are so many things that I wish that I could do with YouTube channel to make it funny, and there's so many times where I wish, especially with you guys, where you guys obviously are, you watch the videos, you enjoy them, if nothing more to make stupid comments, which is great, and I love that. But there's so many times that I wish I could bring you into the editing process to show you my limits to what I can't do. You have to understand, I've never bought expensive software. I'm still using the iPhone. Won't be much longer, but I'm just explaining where I've been and where I am now. So every upgrade that we've made, every improvement we've made has been tweaking out what we have to the absolute max and figuring out ways to make effects happen that you're not supposed to be able to do that. I just find a way to do it. That's been a blast. I got to be honest with you though, if you ever have an issue with any kind of depression or ruminating or anything like that, finding something that makes you think has been wonderful. It's been wonderful. What I mean by think is constructive, because man, I can always open up the Bible. I mean, that's my thing, and I am going to love, love, love every single letter and begin to my brain begins to work. But what I like to do is to strengthen that aspect of my personality is pull from other things to strengthen that part of my brain. So, I mean, give me a physics book. I love it. I'll sit there all day and try my best to understand what's going on. Try to understand. That's all I'm going to say. But trying to learn to do editing and stuff like that, it was a pretty big learning curve, but it's been a blast. Let me catch up right here. Juan, I'm sorry you lost your dad too. I mean, this is we're all kind of in the same age group too, so it's that time. It's that time, and it's Juan, I'll be right behind you here. I'm sure in a few years. And Mark says that's my habit, Stokes. He does, and it's funny. I wouldn't call it with him what you call a habit. It's he had a habit, but when we moved here, he didn't withdraw or anything. He goes out when I can take him, and that's it. So he's not doing too bad. Buster says, Bill, oh, Buster, man, I am so sorry. And Buster, let me preface this, and I'm not just saying this for legal reasons. That has to be a part of it. But I am a minister, and I will say this, and I don't care who hears me. I talk to people all the time with issues. Facebook me on Facebook me, inbox me through Facebook, and man, we'll talk. And that goes to anybody in here. And I don't just mean on Facebook. We can talk. I'll meet up with you if that's what anything to bring peace and comfort to a situation or help to do that. I said all that to say this. I don't claim to be an expert on PTSD whatsoever, but I can say what's helped me with depression that's not PTSD related. When first my walk with Christ, without a doubt, I have to say that because there's power there. There really is something to that. When you accept Christ, there's a hope there that you didn't have before. But there even there, there's instructions very specific in the Bible that I think mainstream psychology borrows from all the time. I don't think they mean to, but they borrow from. But not letting your mind go idle is one of those things. It keep on keeping on, trying to find that thing that can make you that challenges your brain enough, and that helps me a lot. Once Buster says, "Yeah, I go to the cemetery every couple days." My goodness. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, Buster. I'm with Mark. Mark, I'm going to read this out loud, man, because this is Buster says VA has help for you. Maybe Buster, I think I would give that a try too, man, because um, I tell you what. Let me say this, and forgive me, guys. I apologize with this type of a serious conversation. I'm try to focus in here and forget everything else. Buster, I'll give my email out. It's Bill Marion 5, number 5. Let me write it down here. This is easy. Bill Marion 5 at gmail.com. Now, people can say that I'm crazy for that kind of stuff right there. But here's the thing. I would rather take a chance giving everybody my email, say, hey, there's my email. I used to have it on I might still have it on my YouTube page, like for business deals or whatever, but that's my email address. But if giving out my email puts me at risk me, baby. Put me at risk, because I'll tell you, with situations like this, man, that's what we're supposed to be doing in life, is making connections that actually matter, and not just making what I call beer hall friends, Buster says, I've been through all kinds of things. Bill, you're crazy. Well, David, that's official. I got paperwork. Kid. Mark says, thanks, Carolyn. I have no idea what that meant, but okay, whatever. Carolyn, no, it's Carolyn is. Are you talking about Carolyn? Is Caroline. But the reality of it is that finding people who can at least point you in the right direction, even if you can't get help on the person you're talking to. I think everybody has a little bit of savior inside of them, and by savior I mean savior complex, where they think they can fix somebody else. Everybody's got a little bit of that. Some people have too much of it, where they don't point people in a better direction. I'm always going to point people towards Christ, because there's no better direction than Jesus Christ. That being said, that even after somebody accepts Christ as their Savior, there's still things that they have to work out. There's still things that they have to understand about themselves. And even if you can't get the help for somebody, is learning how to point them in the right direction. And I always want to make sure that I'm available for that. At least, if I can't do anything else, point you in the right direction. So I'm going to tell you, anybody that's a veteran in here, or you have family members who've died because of or have passed away and they're veterans, I'm sure there's help for you at VA. I think you need to at least try. Bill at Strong's of Interest says, well, thankfully I still have my dad. He's 89. My goodness, Bill. Bill, everybody else I thought your dad would be younger. I didn't think you were that old to have an 89-year-old father. Still drives, and y'all better stay off the sidewalk. Yeah, I can't let Dad drive anymore. I can't, because thank you, David. I can't let Dad drive anymore, because it happened about 5 or 6 years ago. We had a very steep driveway. I'm sure David tell you all about it. It was very steep, and he ran. There were mailboxes right behind the driveway, and he just took them out. Had like 15 mailboxes, from the subdivision across from us, and he just took all of them out, smash in a brand new F-150. It was sad. Connections do matter, thought Carolyn. Oh, no, we're working on it, Mark. I know Mark and all of you guys have been getting on me. Buster, you've been getting on me about, like, let Carolyn do that stuff. We're just not ready yet. And again, we couldn't try it tonight. We were going to try some of that this week, where Carolyn actually does all the hands-on and I just keep talking. We're not able to. Shut up, David. We're not able to start that yet, and but we're going to very soon. David says, "My dad don't drive anymore, but he's thriving." That's man, David. That's right. But David's dad, I tell you what, if David's dad was the most interesting and unique individual that I've ever met, and obviously you guys know David and I know each other in real life. He lives back in Athens, very successful businessman. Very proud of David, and David hangs with good people too. But David's dad was just the epitome of hardworking, country wisdom, and just a great man. I really I miss him. Mark says, "Mom is 86 and a veteran. Drives a sheep. Drives a Jeep. Oh my goodness! Are you serious, Mark? She drives a Jeep? That's something my mom would do. That's crazy." David says, "Too soon." Buster says, "I'm so happy I found your channel." Well, man, I'm glad you're here, Buster. I'm glad you're here. I'm thankful you're here. And man, we need to have more live chats. I want to do, and I've thought about that. It's something that I wrestle with too. Is how serious to take the live chat? Should I go serious? Really, hardcore serious. The original intent was to try to keep things light, so that when opportunities came like this, I could take advantage of these opportunities. To try to be more serious. But well, any kind of feedback, guys, that you give me later on is great on that. So, Buster, I'm glad you're here. Anything that we can do to better help, let me know. Suddenly, Carolyn just showed up. There you go. How did you do that? What, did you just sign in on your own account?
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right, I see.
No, we still have to set up the admin thing.
We have to set up the admin. Okay. Yep. Okay, so you're telling me Juan works for the CIA and Mark, your mother works for the FBI. This is wrong. All this is a sting operation to shut my network down. That's all this is. It was the conspiracy videos of the Cumberland Gap Tunnel, wasn't it? I knew it. Do you know who we're missing in here? I'm going to tell you what. We're going to have to all go bombard. I'm not going to say it out loud because it might offend. Never mind. Because I realized just a minute ago we're missing somebody in here, but I think I accidentally hurt this person's feelings last week, and I did not mean to. I was listening to the where you record it and upload it again. Buster says, "Oh well, you can read it. You're in here. Never mind." Carolyn appeared. My uncle works for the KGB. Comrade. David, probably the craziest thing you should have ever said. They're going to be in Athens, right there at the dairy farm, watching you, man. A bunch of old people on here, other than you, Billy Carolyn. What we need to do is get Carolyn a video camera and let her do this with it. That would be awesome. I don't know because you can do I was telling you guys about this a few weeks ago. You can do a camera 1 and camera 2 kind of thing. Camera 3. You can add cameras ad nauseum, I guess. That would be awesome. And then Carolyn could chime. It'd be like the Today Show. You ever watch, what is it on MS or MS? No, not MS. Maybe it is MSNBC. The guy and the girl, and they hate everything conservative, and he's just such a punk. Buster says, "Juan, I'm older than Tim." Well, here's what's funny, that everybody is a few years older than me. And again, you guys have heard me say this. The demographic on here doesn't surprise me. This is the demographic. And David, I may have shared this with you a couple years ago. This is what we predicted our demographic to be, is that we knew that, and nobody was saying this at the time, but we knew that people between the ages of 45 and up, my age and up, were going to start coming into YouTube late, because it started out with the hipsters, the young people, them young kids, and then it explodes, and then the older generation latches onto it. And I thought, well, if something's in place, we might be able to start a community and have some fun, and it's happening, and it's really cool. It's really cool because during the week, I get all kinds of stuff inbox all the time. I mean, and it's not like spam. It's like people who watch our videos, they make suggestions, and it's always the same. Turn the music down, which I have. Just want to say that in some cases. Morning Joe, that's who it is. Morning Joe. He used to be cool. I don't know what happened. Then he got just weird. It was just weird. I'm talking about used to be like a long time ago. Used to be cool. So there's Mike Golston. Carolyn can stand on the porch And now to Carolyn for the weather. You got a window? Open it. Oh my goodness. And it would be cold. It would be. You guys from Mark, if you're still in here, I wish it was like the AOL days where you could see who's left and who's come back. Boston, man, it is. That is a cold place, and we're rediscovering cold here because I mean I'm telling you we're having to get used to it. It's warm here. Buster says I'm 53. Buster, you remember back when we thought 53 was old? Remember that? Remember that? Remember that? Carolyn's dying to go to Boston. We absolutely we are convinced that there is a connection. I've always got along with people from Boston, in Massachusetts in general. I've worked with people from Worcester, and always got along. Had great conversations with people in Worcester, and we're convinced there's some type of connection between Tennesseans and Bostonians or people from Massachusetts. What do you call people from Massachusetts? Massachusettsians? Help me out with that, somebody.
I'm sure that's not it, baby.
It could be.
No,
Your young Buster. Carolyn says, Bill, take me to Boston. Hey, baby, I'll take you. Bill, take her. Take me now or lose me forever. What movie is that from? Take me now or lose me forever. Come on, somebody. First one wins. First one wins. Who's going to say it? Take me now or lose me. Oh, somebody's Googling it. That is so not fair. If you're Googling that, you're going to need to turn in your man card from the 80s. So Carolyn is over there totally Googling this.
No, I'm not.
I hear you. Bill, you need to come to Arizona if you want nice weather. One, it's like my favorite state, man. I mean, when I say favorite state, obviously, you got the nostalgic feels for your home states, your Tennessees, your Kentuckys, your Michigans, and now my Virginians and West Virginians. But Arizona is that place that I could live there in a heartbeat. I absolutely love it. I think Carolyn and I, the only thing that we talk about is we don't know where we would live in Arizona. Like Flagstaff is almost too cold. Like spring takes a little while to get there. And of course Phoenix and Tucson. Wow. Too hot. Mark. Mark, you ain't right, man. Let's see. You shake. There you go, David. I figured you would have already got it out by now. Oh, you did say. Oh, Carolyn got it. Okay, I see now. I'm slow. Carolyn's a speed typist, man. Top Gun. Yes. Well, Carolyn, you win a coaster.
Thanks, babe.
There is a hidden thing to do in one of the descriptions of a video in the past 10 videos that there is a prize. I'm not going to go into it because you have to watch the video. I keep waiting for somebody to comment and mention it. They haven't, so because that's part of it. So there's the big hint, and it's a legitimate prize. We send it to you, but nobody's done it yet. Mike says according to Google. According to Google, is that how you said it, Mike? According to Google, Mike, where is Leah tonight? Leah's our legal or paralegal for our channel. Juan says land is cheaper. Where do you live, Juan? If you don't mind me asking, I mean, you don't have to give me your address or anything, because then you would have to kill me. Bill says, Goose, you big stud. Ah! I got it. Yeah, that's it. Man, I loved that movie when I was a kid. David says, I was just naming the scene. Mark said, no, it ain't right. Watch video. What video? What video? Meg Ryan. Do you remember back when Meg Ryan was A, relevant, and B was like Miss Hollywood? Like everybody and she's a great actress, just phenomenal actress. She's awesome. I'm here, right? You are here, and I am glad you're here. Mike says she has a migraine. What'd you do? What'd you do? You can tell us, man. We're bonding right now. You can tell us what you did, man. Northeastern Arizona. Boy, you really are CIA one. Northeastern Arizona. But that could be... I'm going over my map. I'm around Painted Desert area, off 40. Just going there. Had the biggest hailstorm I think I've ever had. in my life that Carolyn was with me. It was life changing too. Actually, we had a lot. We are one of the biggest life changing moments for us was in Arizona. I mean, it's crazy. I wouldn't be in Virginia right now if not for the experience that we had in Arizona. And we were very grateful to be here and very grateful that God opened this up. But it started in Arizona in May of 2017. Just an insane event. We haven't shared the details with a whole lot of people. I mean, a few people we've talked to about it, but haven't gone into a whole lot of details. But Arizona's a special place for me, man. East of I have no idea where that is. Seriously, I don't east of I don't know where Show Low is. I am saying that right, Show Low. Every time I hear Show Low, I think of the song Shiloh. Remember Neil Diamond? Anybody? See, you never know how musical your life is until you try to have conversations without referencing songs.
He's south of the Petrified Forest.
Carolyn's giving up Juan's address over here. Not his address, but she's like, he's south of the Petrified Forest. And I'm like, oh goodness, oh goodness. I have located Juan. Secret computer. Who's been to Sanibel Island? Why do I think I've been to Sanibel Island? Hold on a second. Isn't it great that we live in an age that we can do this? Sanibel Island, Florida. No, I have not been to Sanibel Island, Florida. I was about to ask you if it was one of the Golden Isles because I always confuse like all of the Golden Isles there in Georgia. I always forget their names. So I was like, is that a Georgia? Is that a Georgia island? The beaches of Cheyenne. Man, Neil Diamond was the bomb. Which video has the prize? David's asking, and I'm like, I can't tell you. That's half the fun, man. I just can't tell you. The video has to be playing, and you have to click the like button. I'm just kidding. It's in the past like 10 videos. It's not hard, man. But David, I could just send you a cup. I could just send you something, man. Just send you something. Hey, Bill. David's other. I will win. I will win. I must win this game. I'm glad you're playing. I think it's awesome. Gilbert, My Backyard Life, Gilbert. I am so lost in this conversation because everybody's talking and it's like, I can't keep up. Who, Backyard Life, who is Gilbert? I mean, I know a Gilbert. It isn't, you're not that Gilbert, are you? My Backyard Life, surely not. Yes, a protective cup day. Are you a moron? Come on, man. Of course it is. I'm just kidding. All the messages were like flying by, and I couldn't get. And everybody just stops. I'm like, what do I do? My backyard. Are you Gilbert, or do you have a first name with Gilbert? Buster says, "How old are you, Juan?" 64, I think. If you're 3 years younger than Dad, we doing our own thing. I don't even know what to do when y'all. I'm like, okay, I guess I just sit here and smile. I think it's great. I think that's how channels become great. Glenn, it's good to talk to you. You alluded to the video editing a few minutes ago. What do you use to edit videos? iMovie, and not the one you purchase, the one that comes with your Mac. And before I used it, the first, I don't know how many videos, I used my iPhone with the iMovie that comes with the iPhone. And I used to put it down. I did, and I hate this because I'd like to write iMovie an apology letter. I would, because it's free. The edition that I use is free, and to be able to do what I do with something that I did not pay for, because, it comes with a Mac, but you're not paying for iMovie with that. I think it's great. I think if I had the version of iMovie that you pay for, which isn't that much money, there's another app or another software package that I want that's a lot of money, and then I have to get that, and then I have to get another computer to run it, because that's what I'm wanting. You have this vision in your head of what you want things to look like, and they can look like that, but you are limited a lot of times to your technology. Now, there's some things that I do if I'm in a hurry, or like right now with the way the algorithm is, you have to make 2 or 3 videos a week. You have to. Even if you're doing what I wanted to start out doing a year ago or 2 years ago, where I just wanted to make occasional videos and maybe make some extra money every now and then. You have to make 2 or 3 videos a week. That's where it's at right now. So yeah, iMovie, and it works. I think the chat is officially better than any aspect of this channel. I'm telling you, I'd tell anybody that. Gilbert Grape, welcome, Gilbert Grape. Oh, the guy that was on Top Gun. Never mind. See, I've got one of my very best friends in the whole wide world, who my son's named after. His last name's Gilbert. I got a very close friend of mine from the church that I worked with for years and years back in Chattanooga. His first name was Gilbert, so I thought, oh, is one of them? Are they in here? Mike. I keep calling you Mark. I have called you Mark accidentally, Mike, since I've known you. I don't know why. Mike, do you remember back when we were young? When we were in our, 30s, like 34, and you were 30. Remember that? I do. Mark says, born 57. Do I win oldest? Says Bill, that's what I know. Bill, listen, I know we need to get this going on. I get it, man. I get it. I know. But I'll take my beat. You're right. You're absolutely right. I've got to do a better job at that, because it's I would like to see this grow, and the fact that we're sustaining. I think when I checked this the other day, this same thing, we had our last live stream, 137 views, which I know compared to other channels that is nothing. Okay, you compare yourself to yourself. You don't compare yourself to other people. But what I look for more than anything is watch time. I look for watch time. If I can slowly gain an audience, and then you look at the watch time and people are watching, and our watch time on a lot of our videos is very high for a channel like this. I'm proud of that. Buster says, well, I'm not the oldest tonight on this live stream. I was the oldest in the live stream last night. See, one night you're pouring out wisdom, Buster. The next night you're receiving wisdom. It's the circle of life, man. No copyright. No copyright on that, because I'm going to editorialize it now. Circle of life, circle of friendship, living, dying, Simba. No, Mark. 1. Okay. A whole lot less gray in this beard. Oh, man. That's cool, Mike, because when you knew me back when, David too, for that matter. Yeah, none of this was, this was red. I looked at a picture of me from Abba's house back in, I don't know, probably 2005, Carolyn, right? 2005, 2006. And man, it's all red. This is what kids will do to you right here. Mark says, you're thinking about me, aren't you, Bill? Mark, Mike. No, I've known Mike for like, I don't know, 15 years or something. I mean, Mike, I am so sorry. I can't even really read it without laughing and wanting to cry at the same time. First time we sat down to talk after we joined Airconapalooza, you called me Kevin. And listen, Mike, I still remember, and not meaning to, standing you and Leah up at the church. We were supposed to get together for something, and was on my way, but there was a time conflict. And I was at Lewis Chapel over on 111, and the phone automatically went back because they're on Central Time. I still remember that. It always breaks my heart, always, because I always feel so bad about that. I've never done that to anybody. Love you guys to death, too, and hope your kids are doing great, too. Buster Tim, I don't have any kids, and mine is gray. Why is mine gray for? Maybe. They say it's from worry, too. I know any red that I had left from the time I broke my leg till I left a company I worked for in Chattanooga, I've turned white quickly. So I've always wondered if there was a connection between me breaking my leg to my. I mean, I know that's stupid. It was just something I thought of. Never mind. It's hysterical. I'm gonna go back to a question real quick. You were asking me about editing software, and Glenn, we were talking earlier. Is there a reason that you're asking? Are you wanting to get started?
He mentioned one. I've got it pulled up for you.
What's that now, babe?
He mentioned one for you to look at called DaVinci Resolve. I've got it pulled up for you.
Did you? Okay, so Glenn, in case you, and again, I'm way behind in the chat now. Carolyn, actually, she's said that she saved the DaVinci editing software. Do you edit stuff, Glenn? Do you do some editing, some tooling? Do you have a channel? And if you do, why haven't I been told of this before? We push other people's channel here, man. We talk about everybody's, because like Bill at Strong Adventures, great cooking channel, and I'm starving right now. Like literally, like tonight, it's starving, struggling. Bill don't remember anything. He wakes up each day and his wife has to tell him his name. Yeah. If I'm rolling, I'm fine. If I'm rolling, if I'm in the groove, if I'm preaching or teaching, I'm fine. But there is a Carol will tell you, man. Carolyn is my true partner. I say, oh, in your marriage, that's your partner. No, Carolyn like really is my partner. She really is. She has to like whisper people's name. This is so and so. This is so and so. I'm just kidding. It's not that bad, but she's could not do the things I do without her. No joke. Mike, Bill don't remember anything. Okay, and in my backyard life, the red that was in my beard has turned gray too. Yeah, it happens. I think between my oldest daughter Anna, and her boyfriend, maybe soon to be husband, someday, Cody, who I love. I love both of them. Well, of course I love Anna, but I love Cody to death. But when they started dating, and then you go to when my youngest started like dating, it just was gone. And Nathan, he's like the Malcolm in the Middle or whatever, and drives me nuts. Love the kid. He's a genius. He's brilliant, but white. Worry. Just worry. Okay, you said Bill. I'm Billy. So I thought you went by Bill. Where did I get Bill? Kevin, did you know that Bill's name was Billy? Oh, I hope that one didn't pass your mic. I remember that Bill. All was and has been forgiven. It was funny. Yeah, but it broke my heart because it was just killing me. I still remember that. Every time I drive up there to this day, it hits my head. Buster Tim. Back, I had red in my beard too. Back in the day. Have you anybody in here ever thought about dyeing your beard? Like seriously, like coloring it? I've thought about it. I have. Backyard Life says my son is only 8, but by the time he starts dating, I will be bald. Yeah, I guess I started shaving my head when I moved to Athens and lived there close to David's house. Is when I was 25 or 26, I think 26, 27, somewhere in there. And that's when I started shaving my head, but it was gone. Like all this through here, it's gone. Glenn says, I do some video for work. I use Adobe Premiere Pro. That's the direction I was wanting to go originally. Is I'll check out what you got going on. Adobe Premiere is that's where everybody's pointing me towards. I have a channel, and I'm in the process of editing some performance videos of a guitar friend. If you have a channel, post a link. Because we will definitely check it out. I'll check it out. And I don't just share that stuff. I actually go back and watch them. I always watch Billy's channel. See, Bill, I did it right that time. I watch Billy's channel all the time. I always watch his channel. Who else has got a channel? Am I forgetting anybody in here? I know that I don't see most of our channel people. Juan says, I still have hair on my head, about 90% still. Nah. So what, Juan? Big deal. Just kidding. Yeah, I don't lie about it anymore. And I even talk about this in ministry a lot of times that, There are some things that you can choose, and you need to make the best choices that you can with those choices. There's some things that you're not choosing that. It was chosen for you. I had nothing to do with my bald head, not that I know of. And it's one of those things where you have to learn to deal with it because it's something that's just handed to you, and you have to say, okay, this is reality. And it wasn't easy. I think it took me 7 or 8 years because I started losing my hair when I was like 15 or 16, and by 22, man, it was gone. I mean, you had the whole. I was still holding on for dear life. Don't leave. Trying to negotiate it, and it wasn't going to happen. Buster says, I've been thinking about shaving my head and dyeing my beard black. I don't know if I'd dye my beard black. I don't know. What do you think, Carolyn? Dye my beard black? She said no. Like, no. What do you, keep it gray?
I like it the way it is.
Carolyn loves my bald head. She loves my white beard. Go figure. So I don't dye it, though, because people will watch these videos and say, how did he get younger? And plus, man, if you don't do a good enough job dyeing that junk, you look ridiculous. My backyard life says, I plan to start a channel after I move in a couple of months. Man, do it right. If you're starting a channel, do it right. Read the rules. Read the rules. Write them down. Know how to post. Know when to post. It's just so much easier that way than to... Don't go into YouTube thinking everybody's against you, because if you watch all the videos on YouTube, everybody's, they're always complaining about YouTube. But there's been a major shift in the past 18 months, past year especially. But if you've been watching YouTube 4 or 5 years now or longer, some of you guys longer, you come into it as a creator kind of with a chip on your shoulder, because all the creators you've been watching, they have a chip on their shoulder. I wouldn't do that. I would just give it the best you can and follow the rules, and you'll be fine. You'll do great. Thanks, but no, I'm not dyeing my beard. That's just chilling. Oh, I figure I earned the white in my beard. I earned it, I don't know. I never could get my head around the toupee thing, people doing a toupee and dyeing the beard. I thought about it. There was a moment, though, I thought, because I was like, do I need to do this? Am I looking that old? And it's like, yes, you are looking that old. But I thought, own it. Just own it. I'm comfortable with myself. I know who I am, I think. My stance is white. My hair is dirty blonde. Both my brothers are balding and hairy-chested. I'm full head of hair and bare-chested. I think you got the better end of the deal, Mark. I think you got the better end of the deal. You need to run with that. Run with it. It's awesome. Well, it says, let women dye theirs. Men don't need to. No, but they do. No, I'm not saying they need to, but men do. Yeah. It's weird because there's guys in my age group dyeing their hair now, and it's like, wow, okay. Been letting my hair grow out and my beard grow out so I look like Grizzly Adams. There's a few videos from last winter, I think last November and December, maybe even into January. Yeah, all the way into January, where I think it's 2017 and in early 2018, where I had like the, pretty thick beard. It wasn't full beard, but it's a pretty thick beard for me. I can only keep a beard so long. And after a while, it's like, eh. I think you were to let it grow out and then post pictures to our Facebook page. I mean, like, seriously, Grizzly Adams style. By the way, if you guys, as long as it's not perverted, please don't get me in trouble. But as long as it's not crazy or perverted, man, you feel free. If you find something interesting, that's what that Facebook page is for. It's for our community. And we've not utilized it that way enough. I know some people post things sometimes, sharing a link or something. That's fine. If you need to ask me something, it's probably better to ask me in private. I will say that, just because sometimes I don't know how to respond publicly to a certain thing because, trying to be cool. But as far as like, hey, look at this, aliens under this bridge, or I don't know, yeah, post it, have fun. David, you do have a beard. You need to post your beard there on Facebook. David does, man. You do. Grizzly Adams was cool. Grizzly Adams was the man. He literally, some people talk about wrestling with bears. He did. He did wrestle with bears. He's Grizzly Adams. I am still trying to find a way. I'm still trying to find a way to make hair stop growing in places. You got this, but that's fine. No hair's growing here, but it's like I grow hair on top of my ear, on top of my nose. Explain that. Explain that, somebody. I got the mustache going too. Mark says, my pops could only do scraggly Fu Manchu. I'm the same. So you're that guy, Mark. You got the head full of hair and see, but that's just makes me jealous. That just makes me jealous. Jealous, jealous, jealous. Don't know how to comment to that. Don't know how to comment. Let's see. Juan Thomas, D-Lo, that's good. I can't deal with a beard. My stash is good. I've had it. I've had it from birth. Juan, do you have the 80s stash, man? The Tom Selleck, thick, bushy. Is that what we got going on here? Because I remember the when the stash was in, man. I had a stash until I joined the Army. I did, man. I was like from 14. It was thick. It was red. It was awesome. This should be called the men's chat. I think Carolyn's the only observer in here. Is there any other women in here at all? This is welcome to Bill's Man Cave, where men can share their feelings with each other and grow warm. What? Anybody? You know what? That's not a bad idea. Some type of like caveman kind of channel. Dude, be glad you don't have a mustache going out of your... Well, see, yeah, about that. I wasn't going to go there, but you did, so I can now. Yeah, man, I'm always having, like, before videos and stuff, always having to do this. Chat doesn't like links. Incredible guitar playing friends who in the video. But I said it okay. Oh, you're saying that. I thought YouTube was saying that. Chat doesn't like links. Go to youtube.com/user. I thought they would let me as long as in other words, they would let you post it as long as I said okay. So, but we can do that too. That's fine. I will check out your videos, man. We'll check them out. Did I miss something Mark said crazy? Yeah, I'm always having to be like trimming and stuff. And ears and like eyebrows and all that stuff. It's awful. Men be having to groom now all the time. Remember back when men didn't groom anything? Men just hair all raggly everywhere. Yeah. It was nuts, man. We can use the secret man language and grunt. And, man, I'm telling you. Get in here and complain about menopause. What? I don't think men hang out enough now. And I wanted to go there years ago. I wanted to go there years ago because I put out this terrible video called, I think 5 reasons or 10 reasons why you're failing at male bonding. And it was a terrible video. I was trying to force stuff that whatever, but it had like, especially when I think I only had like 60 subscribers at the time, but it had like 200 plus views. I don't know how many it has now, but it had a lot of people that were interested in the views. Like it spiked. I think at the time it like led my videos. So there may have been a demand for it. I don't think men get to hang out enough. Unaga. Yeah, I think you're saying Chattanooga, Mark. Unaga. I can't say it. Leibowitz. Whoa. Oh, we're flying through the comments. Leibowitz says some types of hair develop age sensitivity as we grow older. The long-term exposure of hair follicles to hormones such as testosterone will disrupt and lengthen their growing period. Bill, you have to not anyone else except your moderators can post link. Oh, okay. I get you. See, how come you don't go live, Billy? You should go live. We'd go check out your stuff, man. Or I would. Can't speak for these guys. They're all in the CIA. You're probably in the CIA, Billy. For all I know, cooking up your stuff over there. Buster Tim and we can put hand down the front. Ah, whoa, I almost read that one. I don't know if I can read that or not, but yeah. Have you ever been married with children? Golly, that's been a long time ago. That's why nose, ear, eyebrow can reach trail drill proportions without regular trimming. You guys are cracking me up, man. You're cracking me up. As soon as I start talking about masculine hair issues, I don't know that one. It's the name that movie, Billy. I do not know the show. I do not know that. I do go live with other people, but it's probably not pastoral approved. Probably not. You guys. I'm just scrolling back through to make sure I haven't forgotten anybody in the chat right now. I'm like, and I don't know. Are you supposed? Let me ask you this: are you supposed to, when you guys go watch other live streams? Because like I said, there's a few other live streams that I've watched, and some of them I don't watch as much anymore for reasons I won't get into. And I used to drop names like that, but I can't. That's not that I can't. It's just that I don't want to be responsible for something stupid they say later. Because that's what's happened to me before. And so it's like, so I want to make sure. There's some people that I know they're going to say something stupid, but I warn people. I say, look, if you go to this channel, if you have sensitive ears, don't do that. But anyway, the live stream thing, I don't necessarily know how people engage with their. I know that a lot of people use the whole, what is it called, where you give money for your comment to be posted up or something like that. And if I'm going to give a content creator money, I'm just going to send it to him. I'm not going to try to get my chat approved. And I just don't want our community to be like that. But I don't know how much they interact with the comments or how that works. This is so much more enjoyable than DC. DC where? DC Comics? I'm just kidding. We can make everybody mad. Oh, back when I was younger, there was things that I would probably do if I were 25 years younger. When I say probably, I'm not saying that I should. I'm saying that I'm glad I'm not 25 years younger and having to face that temptation. But one of those things is to instigate, because this happens all over YouTube, is just to start dropping things about DC or DC related topics, even if I don't agree, just to get people riled up. And I know that happens all over the internet, and that's what fuels the anger machine on the internet. The funniest thing that I've seen lately are people who are refusing to cave to the pressure of saying the right things. Anybody watch Mark Dice? Anybody watch Mark Dice? David, I had forgotten all about that line. I had forgotten all about that. I need to watch that again because it's been so long that I don't even remember the flow of the plot. I know it's Predator because there's been 80 sequels, but I don't remember how that movie goes. I just don't remember the beats on that movie. It's a good movie, man. You get Predator, man. The 80s. I was trying to explain this to Carolyn because I'm older than Carolyn. What am I? 8 years older than you, babe? 8 years older than Carolyn. We've been married, 15 years almost? I was trying to explain to her the joy of 1980s movies, that if you look at from 1983 to 1987, just those years, Hollywood was great. And I don't mean great maybe morally or anything like that. I'm not trying to sell some false nostalgia, but I'm saying some of the greatest movies that we quote, that we know, not just me, but my kids, are from that time period. And I wasn't saying that about my dad's movies. I mean, some of them, a handful, maybe one or two, but man, think about it. It's just great time for movies. My dog thinks he's a lap dog. He's 9% German Shepherd. Those big dogs are my favorite. I like big dogs. I think they're fun. Michael Golston, I was going to start a DC argument. Jason Todd was a superior Robin Dick Grayson. Took me a second as I was rolling through there to see where you're going with it. I'm having to kind of self-censor as I'm reading, and I don't want to read too far ahead. But yeah, Jason Todd was a superior Robin to Dick Grayson. I don't agree with that, by the way. I just want to add that, just to say, we all know that the real Robin is Dick Grayson. So Carolyn's Juan says that tomorrow night's ladies. David Lowell, the CIA needed some info. They sent in an attack force to get some info. The Predator was there, drawn by heat and violence. He was a hunter. You just ruined the movie, David. You just ruined it, man. Thanks, David. Thanks. The Brat Pack. Oh, man. The breakfast. See, right now, there's all these songs that we should all be singing together, and we can't. There's got to be some kind of rule about that, man, and there isn't. I've tried to find it. David, seriously, though, check out John Ward, every funny, smart, conservative commentator. Okay. Yes, big dogs are the best. Little ones make too much noise. Totally agree. Totally agree. I'm not putting down little dogs. I hope I don't offend anybody that loves the little dogs, but the big dogs, they're fun. They just seem so playful. The little dogs have an attitude, They just have an attitude. Mark says, you are so understanding, Carolyn. Bill, you must know you are blessed. Yes, I am. I get a kick out of you two interacting. How did you two meet? She met me at the candy store. See, I did it again. Sorry. That's from Leader of the Pack, remember? Leader. Vroom, vroom. No. Keep Bill focused. How did we meet? We met. Are you answering that? You got that?
I'm getting there. I'm sick.
She said, I'm getting there. I'm sick. Buster Tim, I haven't liked any movies that has come out in years. Buster, I don't either. I'm dying to make a movie. And even if it's like low budget, with one camera angle, handheld, I figure I need 3 cameras to make it happen. And I've got a script. I've got it ready. Everybody's tried to make their own movie. Everybody's tried. If you've watched Austin Connell's channel, I don't know if anybody watched Austin Connell. He's one of my favorite YouTube creators. But that dude went out and made a movie with basically out of high school, college. He did the film school thing and all that stuff. But he's like from Missouri, lives in Missouri now. And the film got nothing. I forget, nobody showed up to his first screening. Check out his channel and he talks about it. But his YouTube channel is awesome, and he can really make films. I watched a little bit of his film. He took it off YouTube, but I watched a little bit of what he had set aside. It was better than what I could do right now, but I'm like, give me time. Have you ever watched, David, Jim Cotta, really? Of course I've watched Jim Cotta, yes. Buster Tim, I haven't liked any movies. Seriously, Bill saying you want. Mark, what were you saying seriously to, though? I don't know what you're saying seriously to. Bill was saying you want some candy little girl. Yeah, it was kind of like that, but only it was her saying it to me. Even the little girl part. She called me little girl. No, okay. John Wick. I like John Wick. Here's the thing. I didn't like the first John Wick because I don't know. I don't know why. I didn't remember it. I know I'd watched it, but it didn't register. I watched the second John Wick, went back and watched the first John Wick, and loved it. Weird. Carolyn says, too long to type here, though. Short version, we met in Tennessee 2005, got married 9 months later. Yes, we did. Plus, just watched Alpha. Okay, Mark, is Alpha any good? Because it looked really dumb to me. I'm being honest. It looked dumb. So I was hoping maybe somebody else could tell me something. I was like, really? David says, a convenient pummel horse in the middle of the crazy town. I'm lost on that one for some reason. Interpreting text. Well, you've talked about, you must really love old Westerns. Do they still have the Western channel? Like anybody with satellite, do they still have that? Where you just watch Westerns all day? Juan, you are totally giving away your age here. Old Westerns like Combat, Rat Patrol, Red Skelton. I bet you watch SpongeBob, too. My dad will watch SpongeBob for hours. He will. He will watch SpongeBob. He loves it. He says it's funny. He says it's like sitcoms used to be. Anyway, maybe so. I don't know. Oh, maybe you didn't have to say that. I'm glad you did. Carolyn said, other than accepting Jesus Christ, marrying this man was the best decision in my life. Yes, it was, honey. It was the best decision you've ever made in your life.
Shut up.
I'm kidding. I mean it too. I'm glad you too. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Mark. We got great kids, and I'm really appreciate that. We have a good marriage. I'm very grateful for Carolyn. I couldn't do any of this without her. I'm clueless. David knew me before Carolyn. I'm a better me now. I promise you that. David, you can go ahead and say yes. True, it was. Westerns come on free TV, but I thought they had their own channel. Like it was like the Western channel. It was like nonstop, 24 hours, and it may be free, but I thought it was like an AMC channel or something. I don't know. What am I talking about? Buster, you leaving? Oh, bye, Buster. Good night. It's good to talk to you. Mark says, I liked it, Bill. Alpha affected me because I love man dog. Really, I bet my dad, we had to put dad's dog down when we came here. And it wasn't because we came here. He was sick anyway. He should have been put down probably a year prior because he was miserable. He had a cancer in him. He couldn't breathe. I mean, he could not breathe. And dad was smoking chain cigars at the time, the big fatties, man. He was nonstop. And he was an Australian Shepherd dog, beautiful dog. And he was sick and he was not well. It was heartbreaking. So I had to call the vet and all that stuff. And it has devastated. Dad had that dog for like 12 years and it just devastated him. And so I didn't know if a movie like that would hurt dad or help dad, because dad talked about when I was taking him out so he could smoke his cigars or whatever. When I took him out, he talked about his dog for today, 35, 45 minutes, and it's been, I don't know, 8-9 months, but he still grieves over his dog. So I didn't know if that was a good movie for him to watch. Seems like that he would really enjoy that because he loved his dog. And it's a shame that I would love to have a dog if I wasn't so very allergic, but I am so very allergic. So I have to be very careful. Juan says it's called Westerns on the Web now. Excellent. Then there were some good Westerns too. Billy says, I don't watch cable or satellite anymore. All I do is watch Bill on YouTube. Yeah, it's exactly right. We finally had people take the survey, and I don't know if people thought I was trying to be funny. I think you probably got the humor I said, talking about what would you rather talk about tonight or something. And one of the answers was, all I want to do is watch Bill Marion on A Nose for Life. It was supposed to be funny. It was a passive advertisement to get people to the chat, which I did not do this week, and I should have. By the way, while I've got 11 or 12 in here now, we will not be having a chat next week. We have a revival at our church. Very excited. By the way, if you're in or near around Virginia, Dr. Ronnie Phillips from Abba's House will be at our church along with the Pastor Tony Allen Bates. These guys are amazing. It's going to be life-changing. I'm excited. I am so excited. I'm excited for our church and our community here because we need revival here, man. I'm telling you, our region needs revival. Our country needs revival. We need to return to some, I hate to say it, but to some understanding of morality. People, a lot of conservative-oriented folks, they'll always point their fingers towards liberals and stuff like that, and that's okay. But I'll tell you what, I think that on both sides of politics, I think we need to learn to get along. I think that's more Christ-like than anything, is to love each other. And I'm not saying that we should turn around and turn a blind eye to sin. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that we should try to reach out and try to find some kind of common ground. And there's nothing that'll make you a little more humble than acknowledging your own sin, Mom, it's good to see you in the chat tonight. You joined at just the right time. Mike Golston says, great lineup. Great lineup. Mom, that was an inside joke between me and you by saying you joined just in time. That was funny. Mark says, I hate that dogs are so short-lived. My Sadie girl tears up my heart. Lost her Memorial Day right after. Oh, man, Mark, that's awful. That's awful. Look at Carolyn kissing up to her mother-in-law. Look at that. Right there in front of everybody. Just kidding. Right there in front of everybody. So there's a lot of people. Billy, you was talking about earlier. Billy, in case you're joining us recently or you've just been eased back and don't know who everybody is yet, Billy's at Strong Adventures, and he says, I don't watch cable or satellite anymore. I watch Bill on YouTube. Of course, he's being funny. Here's what is interesting, though, and Billy, I think we may have talked about this a few weeks ago. I think in the past 5 weeks, definitely 5 weeks, maybe longer, my television has been on long enough to watch the second half of the Super Bowl. By the way, Mark, again, congratulations. I'm just going to say it again just to make sure I rub somebody wrong by saying go Patriots. Even though I'm not a Patriots fan, but I still respect a great team. I watched the second half of the Super Bowl when I got home from church, and that's it. That's all my television's been on. It's not that I don't want to watch television. I hate television. I can't find anything I want to watch. If I'm going to watch a movie, it's probably on Netflix. And I'm probably not even going to bother to turn the TV on to watch Netflix. That's how bad it is, because I can't even guarantee that I'll actually sit and watch the whole movie. So I would rather open it up on my computer to not waste time turning everything on. That's how bad movies are right now. And it doesn't look like it's getting any better. And I'm froze. Or my comments are froze.
Everything's flowing here.
Yeah. Mark, I'm telling you, it's a matter of us trying to get along, man. I mean, both sides of the aisle are always arguing and fussing and fighting. It's like, I want to go, man, some of the stuff we can compromise on if we wanted to. We could find a way to get along. There's money, like here on YouTube, there's money in conflict. There's money in it. If I can get a clickbait, if I can get something to get somebody in and get them all riled up, and keep the conversation lively, there's money in debate and controversy, and nobody wants to give it up. And it doesn't matter which media brand you watch, whether it's conservative or liberal, they're the same. They do the same thing. Whether it's brand A that's conservative, rah, rah, ree, conservative, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, you're watching the commercials, you're paying. And so they'll say whatever they have to do to keep you coming back. And the liberal crowd, they're the exact same way. There are some issues that they're kind of a hill I'll die on. There are. I'm not going to lie to you. There's some issues that I've got to stand on that. But there's a lot of things I think we need to go back to the negotiating table. And I think it would help our cause a great deal. Glenn says we have to remember that people on the other end of the political spectrum aren't our enemies. That's right, Glenn. They're not. They're Americans. They are Americans. They're us, regardless of color, creed, or race. That's the one place we can get together and talk. It's the one place we're supposed to be to get together, regardless of our backgrounds, and high five each other and say, "All right, let's work something out." And for some reason, we've lost that completely. I'm not going to say in the past 10 years, because it started, I think, with Watergate. That's my opinion, and that's when, well, it's not my opinion, it's kind of common. That's when Americans lost trust in their government, and we've had moments since then that have been a little better, but overall, it's been a gradual decline since the Nixon administration. And that's horrible. 1 second. True, Glenn. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up, make sure that I'm with everybody. Mom says, always here. I know, because you're a stalker, Mom. Mom, in my last video on the Natural Bridge, type this in if you got the part where in the bottom left-hand corner I wrote, for Mom. Type it in there. You can tell me later if you want to. You may not have watched the video yet, which if not, why not? I'm your son. What's wrong with you? I'm kidding. Because it was a little message there for you in the bottom left-hand corner. Carolyn got it immediately. Is the answer to our current problems? Yes. True, Glenn. Some of our hard-headed. There are some people that would rather win the argument as opposed to winning the war. And that aggravates me to no end. It's like you're sitting there saying, we might be able to compromise on some issues if we're willing to give up some things that are less valuable. But I need to hush, because I'm just going to end up isolating everybody from everybody if I keep on. Be just a few moments here, folks. I apologize. Having a little bit of a technical difficulty. The technical difficulty, of course, was people keep chiming in on Facebook. I love them, but I'm like, what's wrong here? Juan Thomas says, hello, Bill's mother. It's like the David Letterman show back in the 80s. Remember when he used to bring his mom on his show all the time? That was great, man. It was awesome. I'm glad Mom's here. Yes, I heard about Jesse Taylor getting baptized. What was the creek that he was baptized in? I forget the name of the creek Jesse Taylor was baptized in. Somebody needs to Google that. You'll probably Google baptizing Jesse Taylor, and you'll get the joke there with David and I. Was it in Cedar Creek? Do you know that Cedar Creek, David, happens to be where Mark got married many years ago at the Natural Bridge? Boom! Connecting people from all over the U.S. That's how you do it. I don't know if anybody found that as awesome as I did, but I did. Cedar Creek runs through the Natural Bridge in Virginia. Yeah, all right. Jesus gained a good right. David, you got mom singing now. Oh my goodness. This is awesome. I'm telling you, man, within 6 months, we're going to have a studio, multiple cameras all over the U.S. We're going to have satellite hookups with people from varying countries. Don't know I'm going to do that. That'd be cool. You know what would be cool? Because I think people that live in Russia, are interesting. And one of the things I hate about the whole scandal, Mueller scandal, whatever that is, I don't know. I lost count. I figured after 2 years plus an investigation would have come to a conclusion by now. But what are you going to do? Anyway, one of the things that I hated about all that is that we were like bonding with Russian people for like the first time. Because, I grew up in the Cold War. You guys grew up in the Cold War because we're all old in here. And growing up in that time period, they were the enemies. But then all of a sudden, there's YouTube. And they're putting up YouTube videos, and they're hysterical. And it's like, it's funny. Humor is humor. And so it'd be really cool to interact. But now, man, it's like if you go to a Russian channel or something, I'm worried about CIA coming through the computer. I'm just kidding. Russia is too cold. Russia is cold. Russia is very cold. But they're fun to interact with, man. Their English is usually great because my Russian, I don't have Russian language. So between the two of us, it's fun to interact. They're a lot of fun. So Backyard Life, you've been to Russia? Excellent. Not been to Russia. I'd like to go to Russia. It'd be cool to go to Russia. I hear they're building a hotel there. I'm kidding. Sorry. I don't know if you guys are getting some of this or not. I hope not. I hope so. Mark says, I'm waiting for James Taylor to get baptized. Oh my goodness. Well, he has seen both fire and rain. He really has. Went to Russia when you were in the Navy. How did that work out? Because if you're going to Russia, when were you in the Navy? I guess that's a better question. We just lost somebody in here, I think. They said, I'm leaving on that one. Jesus gained a soul and Satan lost a good right arm. They all cried hallelujah. Man, that song used to make me cry like a baby, man. It did. Because it was a touching part of thinking about these old people and, and I don't know. It's still a good song. It's still a good song. I'm going to sing it as soon as we get off here. My backyard, thank you for your service. Yes, and by the way, one, thank you for saying that because I was totally rude and didn't say that. I apologize. Thank you for your service. I appreciate it. You in the Navy, full speed ahead. I think that's the best slogan that one of our armed force branches came up with. Full speed ahead. I think it's pretty good. A 4-day port visit. Which port? Minsk? Is that what it's called? Which port? Mike, love you, man. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. We're not far behind you on that, unfortunately. It's probably your mom, Bill. Are you telling mom jokes with my mom in here? I'm lost in the things anyway. Mark's like, Mike, don't go. Oh my goodness, it's crazy in here tonight. David, I would, man. I'm thinking it. I want to redo that song, but not the way the way they did it, but just real heavy. I'm just saying, man. I don't know. I think we could bring that back. I'm feeling it. We might do that up here. You need to come up here. If I pull it off, you need to come up here and just join the band, man. That'd be awesome. Our people would like. I don't know if anybody sings that up here or not. I'm sure they do. They have to. It's Appalachia. They put gravy on pancakes here, though. That's weird. I'm not used to that. That's something I'm having to get used to. I don't know how to. Never seen gravy. I had in the army. Saw some people do that, but it's not something I'm used to seeing. Oh, okay. I was like, man, did you go up to one of those cold water ports? Wow. Oh, that's kind of a cold water port. That's a very cold water port. Mike Golston, night Kevin. Night. That's a callback joke, Billy. That was a callback joke. Great job. Semper. Oh man, yeah, awesome. Carolyn, do you feel the house vibrating?
No.
Folks, give it about 25 or 30 minutes and Google small earthquake in Virginia. I'm just saying, I'm not kidding you. I felt a vibration just now. And my lamp here just moved a little bit. The last time that happened to me, David, I was in Athens, Tennessee back in 2001, the spring of 2001 before. It's got to be a truck or something because I felt it again just then. Anyway, that was crazy. Would that be? Okay, I don't mean this in like a catastrophic way, so please do not don't think I'm being mean. But wouldn't it be cool like you're watching a YouTube video or YouTube channel with somebody live and like that? Anyway, I don't mean anything bad to happen, but just like some serious kind of craziness. David said, "Are you, David? You're killing me, man. Man, when you pray, the earth be shaking, buddy. The earth be shaking." Well, guys, listen. It has been a pleasure to be here with you tonight. Unfortunately, I am feeling a little peckish, and I've had a long day. Um, well, Billy says the camera shook, and the thing was that the camera doesn't explain my water over here moving. And I'm telling you, man, I could feel it in the floor. It was nuts. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. It's crazy. But anyway, guys, please forgive me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. It's been a pleasure, and it's one of my favorite sessions, and I can't wait. I can't wait to do this again. Again, next week, I'm not going to be able to do this. We might, well, we won't be able to do it next week at all. I'll be in Pigeon Forge at the end of the week at a conference, so I do apologize. And quit whining. I'm sorry, David. I can't help it. But again, I'm very grateful that you joined us here. I want you to have a fantastic evening. Guys, anyway, my Facebook page is always open, and as well as my inbox. It's at Bill Marion Life. That's Facebook at Bill Marion Life. And check it out. I will go back and look at the video. What you talking about the shaking of the camera? See, I try to go sign off, but then you have to say something like that, Billy. By the way, be sure that you check out Strong's. Strong's, his name's Billy, but it's Strong Adventures channel. Also, you want to check out Glenn's channel. His channel's great. I'm sure it's going to be a great channel. I mean, I've been talking to Glenn for a long time, and he's a great guy. Action packed, Pigeon Forge. David, you were there last time. I was there for the same conference. Juan says, good night to everyone. Get better, Carolyn. Praying for you both. Thank you. I appreciate it. Carolyn says thank you too. And you guys have a fantastic night. And I'm going to try to do this seamlessly and smooth. It never works out that way, but I'm going to try. There's got to be a better way to end a stream than this. Yeah, because it's like not letting me know. I don't understand.